We're joined by a few season ticket holders. We're going to give all of you a chance to ask questions of Juan. We'll try and get through as many as we can over the next several minutes. And so let's get started, because the first question is actually going to come from me, Juan. And I'm curious to know, what is your all-time best 11? It could be favorite players, it could be players you've played with. Just what comes to mind when you think of your all-time best 11?
All-time best 11. Okay. My goalkeeper, all right, I'm gonna do all 11. My goalkeeper would be Higuita, goalkeeper for Colombia. I'm Colombian, Scorpion Kick. He's got to be on my team. Left back would be Roberto Carlos. Center back would be Cannavaro and Nesta. And then my right back would be Cafu. My defensive midfielder would be, people might not know, but Momo Sissoko, before he got injured. He used to play for Liverpool. He was a beast at defensive mid. So look him up. Before, he kind of had a tragic accident with his eye, so he couldn't play anymore, but he was a beast. Then I would have my other midfielder would be, who's this guy? I'm going to go with Ronaldinho, as they say, Ronaldinho. And then on the left, I would go with Cristiano Ronaldo. On the right, I would go with Messi. Then up top, I would be with Ronaldo El Fenomeno, the older Ronaldo. They call him the chubby, hungry Ronaldo.
You're only missing one midfielder, I think, right? So we've got a backline of Cafu, Cannavaro, Nesta, and Roberto Carlos. René Higuita and goal behind them. Although René Higuita could just as easily be in midfield. Ronaldinho and Momo Sissoko were your two options in midfield. So we're missing one other midfielder in this 4-3-3.
Okay, Valderrama. That's who it was.
There you go. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
There is Juan's all-time best 11. Our next question is going to come from Laura Harwin. Laura, you're with us there with your three kids.
Hi, Laura.
So our question is, I'm going to have Eli came up with the question.
Okay. So what formation best suits into Miami's starting 11?
Oh, okay. Good question. What formation? I think right now what best suits us is probably a 4-3-3. And why is because it kind of complements every player in their position. That's just the type of team that we have. We got to put our best players at the time on the field. So those positions kind of complement one another. We got fast wingers. We have fast right backs and left backs that can recover and are fast. So we definitely use the outsides a lot. So I would say 4-3-3.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, Laura, could you just tell us your boys' names, because we didn't get a chance to introduce them?
Sure. This is Jonah, hello, Asher, and Eli.
Aloha.
Aloha, Jonah.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. We have a question here from another season ticket holder who couldn't be on the call today, but he wants to know, Juan, actually it's an anonymous season ticket holder. He wants to know, if you could pick any legend to have been able to play with, who would it be?
Anonymous.
He or she, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I would go with, I think, Ronaldinho. I think he would just, in practice or in games, he would just make it fun, and he would kind of bring back or remind us professional players of like what it was when we were younger and we just played for fun and we just did it because it was fun. You know what I mean? So he would bring back that kind of alegría, like joy, that joga bonito, like swagger onto the field. And I would enjoy playing with that a lot. It would be a lot of fun playing with Ronaldinho. You can't pronounce the R because it's in Brazil. You got to have some swag to his name. Ronaldinho.
La sonrisa del fútbol. Have you ever seen anyone get kicked that much and stand up smiling as much as Ronaldinho did?
No, never. I don't know if it was because he never had braces or why his teeth are always smiling, but yeah, he was definitely never mad.
This next question is from another one of our season ticket holders, Reynaldo Carballo. He was asking, actually, we touched on this on the first question. He wants to know what your all-time starting 11 was growing up. I guess we could just adapt that to say, who were your favorite players growing up?
Well, my favorite players growing up, I was a big Brazil fan. My first favorite player was Valderrama. I was very young, and I just saw a guy with the ball all the time with puffy hair, blonde hair. So I was like, okay, I'm picking him. That's my best player. Didn't really know much about soccer, but I just liked him. Then second, when I grew up, I started liking a lot another Brazilian. His name is Robinho. I actually did an autobiography on him in school, and I always watched YouTube videos of him all the time. So Robinho, he was my all-time favorite player just because of how smooth he was. I always tried to emulate how smooth he was on the ball, his step overs, and yeah, I would buy the cleats that he was wearing, hopefully having me have his skill just because I'm wearing his shoes. Like I was doing everything when I was younger. So Robinho from Brazil.
It's the Jordan theory, right? It has to be the shoes.
Yes.
Here's another question from one of our season ticket holders, not present on the call today. Nicolas Ortega wants to know, well, this is a similar question, but maybe a little bit slightly different. What player inspired you the most growing up and why?
Inspired me the most. Yeah, I would say Robinho, Ronaldinho. Those two were really inspiring. Just watching them play and watching their highlight clips. I used to be a big fan of watching, players YouTube highlights before practices or before games. And yeah, it was pretty awesome to see those two actually, and to see them together play on the national team and watch like behind the scenes of them talking. Like I heard them speak Portuguese and I was like, these guys, they're so good at soccer. They must be aliens. Like they're not talking like me. Like they're not playing like anybody else. They must be aliens. So yeah, the whole Brazil national team at the time was just the team to beat,
The two guys you mentioned, you almost want to watch them play futsal as much as you want to watch them play football, right? Because they're so good on the ball. We have a question here from one of our season ticket holders who is on the call, Nicolas Abad. Why don't you go ahead?
Hey Juan, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Hey man. So no, my question pretty simple. Just seeing as how you're a striker, I just was wondering who do you consider your favorite striker of like all time?
Favorite striker of all time would have to be Ronaldo. And the kids watching here, if you haven't seen this guy play, I'm talking about the old Ronaldo. You have to watch like his videos of what he used to do to teams, to defenders, and just how unstoppable he was. And unfortunately, he just had a lot of injuries. Like he blew out his knee like 2-3 times, but who knows what he could have done, how many records he would have broken. But this guy was just really unstoppable. And I haven't seen anybody that has been so dominant ever. So for me, yeah, Ronaldo in that World Cup and also playing for Inter Milan and all his other teams that he played for.
Oh, phenomenal. Next question is coming from Darren Spurrier. Darren, take over, please.
Hey Juan, how you doing?
Hey, Darren.
Hey, thanks very much for taking the time today. So I know you're still young. I know you're in the infancy of your career, but I just wanted to know who's been your favorite player to play alongside in your career to date.
In my career to date, favorite player to play alongside, it would have to be Thierry Henry. So it was pretty surreal um, to have him on my team, first of all. But whenever I was young, I watched, obviously, him just kill it in the Champions League and with Arsenal in that team. And um, coming into the locker room when I was with the New York Red Bulls, and then seeing our equipment manager put up um, Henri next to my locker, and just knowing that this guy was going to be next to my locker, I quickly cleaned up my locker. I almost looked for a vacuum in the locker room. And then the guy showed up, and I was like, wow, this is, I was thinking it in my head. I was like, wow, it's really him. Like, he's really in the building right now, and he's about to be my locker room buddy, like sitting right next to me every single morning. I used to watch this guy on TV like every single week, and used to try to emulate his moves and everything. So yeah, it was pretty special to have him on the team, to play alongside him, and to have him after one training session teach me how he used to beat all these defenders down the left-hand side when he used to use his right foot and drag it to his left foot. Yeah, that was pretty surreal to have that moment in a training session with Thierry Henry. Just me and him after practice.
Juan, did you ever pull the socks up over your knees like TT Henry used to?
Oh yeah, all the time. He told me it makes you run faster. So he said when you get older, you have to pull them down slowly, because that's how you slow your speed down also when you get older.
Amazing. This question is actually going to come from me because we want to know of that best 11 you named. There's guys like Messi, Ronaldo, Cristiano, Dino. What's the best goal you can remember from any of these guys scoring? You can take your pick.
The best goal? Oof, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with, there was one free kick by Cristiano Ronaldo, and it was against Portsmouth, and that was the best free kick I've seen. And then another run of play goal, it would have to be Messi against Getafe, I think it was. He just took off from midfield and he beat like 8, 9 players. And it was a pretty special goal because it was a similar one to Maradona's goal. So it was like Argentina, and they did the same thing with their left foot. It was crazy.
This next question comes from Anthony Hernandez. He wants to know, how does it feel to be part of a new franchise and a team with so much potential?
It feels amazing. I mean, since the first day that I came in, I was shocked with how advanced a team was that is brand new, and how encouraged the whole team was to become one of the best teams in the MLS. So just coming onto this franchise, I felt blessed, and I just knew this was going to be a very attractive club to play for, attractive style with the coaches that have been brought in from South America. And it's definitely going to attract a lot of awesome footballers around the world. They're going to want to play in Florida for sure.
Yeah, there are worse things than playing in Miami. This next question comes from Brendan Perrin. He wants to know, what makes this team special? How do you see your season coming out of this?
The team is special because when we just came all together, there wasn't any like little cliques between teammates. Like there wasn't nobody knew anybody really, just maybe 1 or 2 players, but everybody kind of came together and was like, okay, this is all our first year. We're going to kind of not have any cliques. We're going to just see who we vibe with. And then the chemistry just started building really fast. The wives didn't know anybody, so we kind of organized so that they would meet each other. The family, I mean, the whole club is really big on family, so they brought them over to see the facility, the stadium. So Jorge Mas has done a great job making this kind of it's not a job to me, but when you come in to any job, you kind of want it to feel like a family, and you'll do it for free. So he's definitely made it feel like a lot of people would play here and they would work here, even in the cafeteria, for free, because it's just that kind of environment.
This next question is going to come from Saul Clavijo. Saul, you're up next, but I want to know first, any relation to Fernando Clavijo?
No, I
right.
always got that, but no relation at all.
Go on.
Yeah, my question was, going back all time and current, what is your MLS starting 11, MLS-based players?
Oh, okay. MLS-based players, starting 11. Goalkeeper, number 1, Tim Howard. And we're going to start from the left. Left back, DeMarcus Beasley. I'm going to go with a fast, athletic defense. So Ike Opara, he's very fast and he's very dangerous in set pieces. So Ike Opara. Then Marvell Wayne, and he was just really fast. So, and very strong, and he would break up anything. So Marvell Wayne. My right back, I had this one. All right, we'll save right back towards the end to see if I remember. Oh, no, right back is DeAndre Yedlin, also very fast. So they'll be able to clean up any counterattacks. Then center mid would be Shari Joseph. I think he dominated a lot whenever he played. He was a big presence, so I would want that on my team. Then obviously Landon Donovan, and also Thierry Henry, and Sebastian Giovinco, and I believe I'm missing one more.
We need a midfielder. I guess if Donovan and Henry are your forwards, then we need Javinko, Donovan, and Henry are your forwards. So we need 2 other midfielders to go with Joseph.
Okay. Sorry, Joseph. I'll go Sebastian Schweinsteiger and Kaká. I mean, Kaká, he won Player of the World, so he's got to be on my team.
I'm noticing you always have to have at least one Brazilian on the team. Kaká just snuck in there at the end.
Yeah, it had to.
We've got this question coming from Javier Valladares, and he wants to know what your favorite thing is about joining Inter Miami.
My favorite I would have to say joining Inter Miami has been awesome for me, because I feel like it's a club that has a lot of flavor, and it's just has so much diversity, so much flavor. I love the music that the fans choose to play, the drums. It's a very South American style, and I relate to that. So that's what it would have to be. I think the tradition and the flavor. It's got a lot of sauce. That's what I would say. A lot of sauce.
Yeah, I love that answer, because it's almost like you can't describe it. You got to come and feel it. You can't tell somebody what sauce tastes like. You got to taste the sauce.
Exactly.
We got a question here from Fabio Lopez, who wants to know, okay, I guess we're going back to that best 11 that you picked. You got to pick out your favorite player from that 11. If you want me to remind you who they were: René Guita, Cafu, Cannavaro, Nesta, Roberto Carlos, Momo Sissoko, Dino, Pibe Valderrama, Messi, O Fenomeno, and Cristiano. Favorite player from that 11?
Favorite player. Yeah, I mean, I'm a forward, so I would love to come in and substitute Ronaldo, El Fenomeno up top. So that's who I think would be my favorite player. Yeah, it's just unfortunate with how many injuries he's had. But yeah,
the severity of the injuries. It was like serious knee injuries too. I remember Ronaldo's 34-goal season at Barcelona. It was just, I never see that combination of like pace and acceleration and incredible technique. The ball's tied to his foot. He's going a million miles an hour. We got a few more minutes with Juan here. So if you guys have any follow-up questions, Laura, we can begin with you if any of your boys want to ask another question of Juan.
You have a question?
No?
Feel free.
And then they're shy.
No worries. Nicolas, if you wanted to ask a follow-up.
Yeah, since you know everyone likes El Fenomeno so much, did you ever try the haircut?
No, I don't know. Is anybody? I mean, that's a question for you guys. Do you guys know why he cut his hair like that in the World Cup? I don't know, but I wouldn't do it to myself. Maybe he lost a bet. I don't know, but it was an interesting choice of timing when the whole world is watching to choose to first of all choose that barber, whoever that barber was.
Yeah, there's actually two theories on that one. One was that it was something about some indigenous tribe, but I never really fully bought it. Years later, I think he was already president of Valladolid in Spain. He said that it was a distraction. There was some bad press about him in the lead up to that World Cup, and he wanted to get everybody talking about something different. So he went to that barber, and he got that haircut.
Wow. See, I wouldn't put it past you not knowing, so I knew you would know.
I got you. Darren, if you wanted to ask a follow-up, now's the time.
Yeah, no, just other than my grandfather would have loved hearing that Thierry Henry was your favourite player. He's a huge Arsenal fan. And being from England, if you were going to play in England for a Premier League team, you know, what would be your ideal team to play in and why?
Oh, to play on a team. I have to be loyal. So I started watching the Premier League when I moved to the U.S. from Colombia in 2000. So around 2002 was when I was really watching it every weekend. And something about the color blue caught my attention, and I just started sticking with the team. So, yeah, I'm a big Chelsea fan. So if I were to play in the Premier League, I would love to play in London for Chelsea. Don't know how you feel about that, but yeah.
I'm more of a Spurs fan myself.
Okay.
I can appreciate Chelsea.
Right. Sounds good.
Saul, anything else for Juan?
Yeah, I have a question for you. It's not soccer related, but I did notice a lot of your teammates calling you the best dressed player on the team. So I wanted to know, what are some of your favorite brands?
Ooh, some of my favorite brands. It's not so much brands, it's just stores. I'm not really big on those expensive brands. I like good quality, so the store would be Zara and Top Man. So I could always find something that I would like from those two stores.
Let me just follow up on that one because I want to create a little intra-squad beef here. But who's got more style, you or League Win?
Well, he's got the oldies style, you know. I don't think he can compete against the style that I have. But he's got some days, and he has some days that he's lazy. But nah, he's got good hair. I'll tell you that. He's got good hair.
Okay, we're going to take one more question. If anyone has anything else for Juan, so we could wrap up. It seems that's going to be it. Juan Agudelo, thank you so much for taking the time for our very first roundtable. Congratulations on the honor of being our first guest on Roundtable. And thanks so much for taking questions from some of our season ticket holders.
No problem. Thanks for having us. Thanks for tuning in, and tune in for the next one. It should be fun.
Brilliant. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been Roundtable. We'll see you next time.